So when Zahir al-Din Muhammad invades India in 1523, he's known as the Tiger, and he is a Turk, and he is basically going to set the precursors to the Muslim empire starting to form in India. I remember that the Sultan of Delhi was Muslim in the north and basically a Hindu land. Everything else was Hindu. I mean, it's a very much a Hindu majority area. Babar is going to found the Mughal Empire. Stands for Persian Mongol, basically. And he's a soldier, nothing more. He doesn't want anything to do with big gods. He's not big with Shiism, not big with Sunni. He is an empire. He just gets after it. And he tried to get into modern day Uzbekistan and Afghanistan, but fails. He takes Delhi in 1526. And they claim to be descendants of Genghis Khan. They are going to use gunpowder to conquer almost everything. One of his descendants is Akbar. He's a no-nonsense but reflective person who's going to set up this very centralized government in Delhi. He took power by throwing out one of the Khans out of a window. Not once, but twice. Some defenestration there for you. Now, he is going to move further south with his conquering. However, one of his goals is he wants to reduce tensions between Hindus and Muslims. He wants this loyalty to an empire now, to the emperor. So he does have definitely some arrogancy about him, but one of the books I've read about him describes him as one of the best leaders to exist in history because he did lessen Hindu-Muslim tensions, which was really hard. Now, is he completely nice to the Hindus? No. The government does have some Hindu positions in it there, and he's a military guy. I mean, so he is going to conquer the Hindu kingdom of Vijayanagar in the south. But, I mean, he is very well respected basically by everybody. Throughout his empire, he does try to promote something called the divine faith. It isn't fully fleshed out before he dies, but the divine faith is a syncretic blend between a bunch of religions, including Hindu and Muslim. So the divine faith, it definitely takes Christianity, it takes some elements of Islam, it takes some elements of Hindu, and tries to combine them into one. And that's what he's trying to promote, because as a whole, he's trying to lessen those Hindu-Muslim tensions. He is a very good, sets up a great government system. Anybody could rise up, definitely a meritocracy going on. Starts a gradual income tax system. He gave generous land to the bureaucrats, the Zamindarers. However, it wouldn't pass on to the next generation, so you definitely have a meritocracy going on. Urdu is going to start to rise as a new language, and you see a bunch of just new relationships taking hold. He also is very good in terms of trying to get kids more rights. He tries to ban child marriage. It fails, but he did try. And also tries to get rid of the practice of women killing themselves when their husband died with the ritualistic suicide. He is one of the most powerful governors to have ever ruled the world. Okay. And so basically you have this really religious, tolerant guy. He actually got rid of the jizya on the Muslims. And in general, people really like him. However, as time moves forward, that is drastically going to change. Jahangir going to rise to power throughout when the Sikhs are starting to rise to power as well. There's infighting amongst the family. And he isn't the best leader. So he actually leaves it to his wife, Nur Jahan. But then next you have Shah Jahan. He is the son of Jahangir and kills basically all possible rivals. He executes his older brother. He arrests his father, has him thrown in prison. And as you go here, you're going to start to see that Hindu-Muslim tensions only increase the rest of the way. They started basically anytime after Akbar, they just keep rising. Shah Jahan is going to live a very lavish lifestyle, and he puts that ahead of everything else. He's one of the richest men that's ever lived. They had gotten really wealthy off silver coming in the trading posts on the west part of India, on the west coast of India. But definitely lavish lifestyle. And then when you factor in that there's a famine that's going on throughout his empire, and they see him living this life of luxury, yeah, it's not going to go over very well. And then it comes to basically the head of problems when one of his wives dies. Mumtaz Mahal. Mumtaz Mahal is one of his many, many wives. She dies while having their 14th kid, but he loves her more than all the rest of the wives. And so he puts some taxes in and he builds the Taj Mahal. Seen here. It's a tomb. Okay, the original plan was to build a black one for him as well. And Shah Jahan took about 20,000 workers and 18 years for it to be built. It was not cheap. It's solid marble throughout the whole thing. Obviously, drain on the empire's resources, and so as we move forward, it's just going to continue to rise tensions. So Aurangzeb is the height of Hindu-Muslim tensions. He's gonna rigidly enforce Muslim law. No drinking, no gambling. He actually bans music for a while, which Muslims and Hindus don't like that. He censors to make sure people pray. He brings back the jizya. No new temples. He turns a lot of temples into mosques. Any of the religious tolerance that Akbar had put in, gone. And so he basically is going to tax people through the roof, and especially if you were a non-Muslim. He actually even takes Shah Jahan and puts him in prison. And the prison has a mirror in it so that he can view the Taj Mahal, and that's it. And Aurangzeb puts him there before it can even be finished. So what you have here is what you should realize. Hey, Akbar, pretty good, strong leader, very religiously tolerant, sets up a really strong centralized government, still conquering though. And just as time moves forward, more Hindu and Muslim tensions for the Mughal Empire in India.